It's time for the Gettin Outdoors podcast, Town Country United Bank Lake Millis Ferry Weekend Hunting and Fishing Report. A weekly update on water conditions, ramp events, generating schedules, horse biting, and seasonal hunting information with my outdoor media analysts Joe Allen Dunn and Kevin Sims. This weekly hunting and fishing report is brought to you by the good folks at Town Country United Bank in Camden, Alabama, serving their customers for over 40 years. Town Country United Bank's highest priority is satisfied customers. Now, here's your weekend Lake Millis Ferry hunting and fishing report.
Team Bigfoot, baby. Another one on the B&B Silver Shag. Team Bigfoot in the house.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Gettin Outdoors podcast 194 Town Country United Bank Hunting and Fishing Report with my outdoor media analysts and reporters, Mr. Shane Jones and Joe Allen Dunn. And we miss Kevin. He's on the way to Las Vegas.
There he is.
He's probably already there now.
Yeah, he probably is. And I do want to remind everybody that Shane Jones appears here with us on Wednesday night, sponsored by Bob Sykes Barbecue of Bessemer, Alabama. You can check out his website, www.bobsykes.com, or his Facebook page. And he's got a big open house this weekend, hasn't he, Shane?
Yes, sir. Saturday. He's gonna be selling some books and talking about barbecue. I'm gonna be there with my boat and talk about some crappie fishing, because the same people that eat barbecue, crappie fish. So. That's
exactly right. Well, we got a whole lot to talk about. It's been 2 weeks since we have had the show. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Welcome back. I just got through interviewing my dear friend David Gaston. We talked about duck hunting, waterfowl hunting, and he's always got a great perspective. He's been doing it for so long, and we talked in depth about this avian flu, and it's pretty serious in the waterfowl world. This avian flu, I mean, it's really knocking out some of those snow geese up there around Arkansas.
David, he's a pretty good biscuit chef too. He sent me some pictures of his biscuits.
I seen that too.
I tell you what, he's been cooking all his darn life. He sure has. All right, let's start out. Big buck contest. Wilcox Area Chamber big buck contest is going on. Opening season is in full swing. A lot of big deer being killed out there. I want everybody to see this, because you got to see this. I believe, Shane, you sent it to me. That's that deer, free range deer in Virginia they killed.
Yeah, that's. I don't know how wide it is. That thing is a stud.
I think it scored 170 and 1/8 gross Boone and Crockett.
That thing looks fake. It's so big. I mean, that thing is wide.
Look how wide it is. But that it's a lot of big bucks being killed, and it's a lot of money being left on the table that that people are killing these big bucks and not having their Wilcox Area Chamber big buck contest ticket. So be sure to get it for you. Get it before you go hunting in. Let's see.
They better get them before this rut kicks in for sure. That's
Yeah,
when,
that rut will kick in, and
yeah, it will. Then they'll wish they had them.
if you hunting in Butler, Lowndes, Dallas, Marengo, Clark, Monroe, Wilcox County, you are eligible for the big buck contest. Bud wants to know if you're seeing any rut signs yet. I hadn't seen any yet, Bud, but it won't be long. We got to have some cold weather. We got to have.
I seen them bumping a few does around here, the young bucks, on camera, little 2-year-olds. So.
Yeah.
All right.
I got me a picture of one chasing. So,
That's right.
They're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We got a bunch of rain north of here last night. We didn't get much down here. But I called the powerhouse today, and the Millers Ferry Powerhouse, this is for December the 1st, which will be tomorrow. They're going to run 2 units from midnight to 3 a.m., then from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m., 3 units, and then from 7 a.m. to midnight, 2 units. At Jones Bluff from midnight to 3 a.m., 2 units, from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., 3 units, from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. till 8 p.m., 4 units. No, from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., 3 units, from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m., 4 units, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., 1 unit, and from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., 2 units. I don't know why they cutting them on and off like that. I reckon they're looking for some water come down or something. But the temperature in the river, and this is just from me fishing last weekend, 58 to 62 in the river, about the same in the sloughs. Would y'all agree with that?
It's got to be. It ain't going to vary much from that right now until it starts getting cold.
And
staying cold.
Oh, yeah.
Because you get some cold water, and then it gets up to 75 or 80 degrees.
That's why people stay sick too.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we've talked about opening deer season is wide open. We had a special 2-day duck season that we'll talk about in a minute. Something else I want to talk about before we get to the hunting and fishing report. Did y'all see that 162-pound alligator gar that Keith Dees caught the other day? And man, 162 pounds. The biologists, they officially weighed it. The biologists officially looked at it. I don't know what other hoops they got to jump to. The present Alabama state record alligator gar was 151 pounds. So if that holds up, he's beat the state record by 11 pounds. That's pretty good.
I think he caught it on a chatterbait too. Fought it for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, he was bass fishing. Yeah.
It was crazy. I read a little bit about it. That's interesting.
What's up, Rusty? Rusty said he's up in a tree hunting. I ain't seen no skillet meat yet, though, Rusty. We gonna have to get Travis Powell to get up in that tree stand with Rusty and show him how to shoot a deer. All right, the fall foliage is gone. That rain and wind last night took it away, but boy, it was sure pretty. Before it left here, he was really, really pretty in the Grampian Hills. Did y'all see Joe Allen and Shane, that post that Ken sent me about that invasive grass or weed or something in Demopolis? What is that?
Yeah, that's that old day. That's that old dollar grass stuff. That stuff. Usually, a lot of people don't get to see it, Big Daddy, because the water gets up and the current and wind sucks it out of here before people really pay attention to it. But It happened to back up right there by the new city landing, and people's like, but it's in those sloughs. Like, I used to have to take my boat and trim my motor and blow it away from a treetop to fish it. It's been there for a long time. It's just old dollar grass mess, but it gets matted up.
It don't last that long. Usually through the winter, it'll be gone.
This big rain push we got right now, it'll be gone. You won't have to be talking about it. So.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know. We have so many. We have
Oh yeah.
so many people that are concerned about that invasives, and I never. It looked like duckweed to me.
It's just old dollar grass. It's shaped like about the size of a quarter, and then and it's all in the back of Dove Swamp and Runaway Branch and all that stuff. And when it starts dying, it starts turning loose. But there hadn't been enough water coming out of the creeks to suck it out of there. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, I knew you'd know something about it. Now,
oh yeah, I see. I've been dealing with that stuff for years. Like I said, I've been on fishing. My jig get hung up into me. So,
Joe Allen, let's talk a minute before we go to the hunting and fishing report about the camp chefs. You and Todd put up one with that cornbread, and y'all had Vicky and Donna in there with you, and that thing has really been looked at a lot now. I'm getting videos from everybody, even your number one fan. He's even sending cornbread videos, and I'm hearing now that y'all are fixing to have some kind of. The next show is either going to be a Cajun duck recipe or a Cajun coon recipe. Which one is going to be?
Well, it may be the Cajun duck will probably be next, but the coon recipe, we're working that out. We got two different ladies that may share information on that, and they're one's from Clark County, and the other lady's from Wilcox County. So we got to see which one's going to be available and able to help us with that video. But I want to go back to the cornbread cooking. That we were single-handedly responsible for everybody during the Thanksgiving weekend eating some of the finest cornbread that was ever made, because their wives got mad at what we said, and they said we cooked good cornbread too.
That's good business.
So they put on their A game for cornbread this past week.
I bet you I had a dozen people come up to me and said, them boys just think they can cook some cornbread. You got to taste my wife of my mama's cornbread.
That is exactly right.
I said I thought about it. I said, well, we really ought to have a cornbread cook-off. Then I thought about it. I said, you can't judge women cornbread. You liable to get shot. Ain't no telling what. You'll get run out of the county if you say
that's exactly
make
right.
the wrong call.
Me and you can talk about it and eat and be like, that's good. Hey, them women they'll get offensive.
Yeah,
and you saw Kevin throwed up a little 10-second video last night showing
that
biscuits too. Oh, it was a lot of fun. All right, let's go to anything else y'all want to bring up before we go to the hunting and fishing report. We got a lot to talk about.
I don't have anything else.
You got anything, Joe Allen? We need any old business we need to talk about before we talk about the hunting and fishing?
No.
All right, let's start with catfishing. Stacey Gaston shook up the world today when he put that. We told him to, Joe Allen. We told him to put that bracket up for those live scopes, and he
seen that. Everything looks good.
Yeah, they did. He's just gonna have to make them a little. That looked like it was about 12. He needs some 18-inch ones, probably.
Yeah, but bass fishing, that's a fine one,
Yeah.
He makes some quick knobs where you can let that thing down when you're driving and pick it up.
Yeah.
I think that'll be. Like I said, I'm all about it. Just whatever's workable and you can live with.
Hey, right there in Greenville, Alabama, too.
I'm gonna have to get me one. I know that.
Him and old Troy Smith slipped over here the other day and caught some catfish on Miller's Ferry. You know what they were doing. I still hadn't found out about that bumping deal, Joe Allen. Have you heard anybody talking about that? They were talking about it on their live show a couple of weeks ago about bumping for catfish.
I seen something on Facebook. They had a weight and a brim behind it. I guess that's the rig you're talking about.
I don't know. I just heard.
I don't know. I didn't look into detail.
I heard them call it bumping, and I typed in down there, tell me how to do it, and there wasn't nobody tell me. Look what old Mark says. Joe Allen, I need to make some of my jalapeno cornbread and bring it up to the store for you to try. How's that arm? I want to know when you gonna get back.
I'm all about eating cornbread.
Huh? You'll be the taste tester, won't you, Joe Allen?
Do I?
All right,
Oh,
if we're
yeah.
going catfishing this weekend, Joe Allen, what we need to do?
Well, hopefully that water's going to pick up a little bit, and then the fish really hadn't moved much yet. We hadn't had enough water, but I hope it's going to start. They're going to start transitioning a little bit, and you going to catch some in the sloughs, short line jugs, tight lining in creek mouths and stuff. But once we get a whole lot of high water, whenever that's going to be, it'll transition them out of the river into the sloughs. But now, I think right now, if we get a little bit of water, I think the long lines are going to still be in play out in the river. The river bite's going to still be good because, like you said, they're not running it all the time. They're cutting it on and off. And actually, that'll make it better in the river for a little while right now. But we hadn't made that hurdle, getting the water cold enough, hadn't had it high enough yet. So everything's still in play. Everything, all the ways you like to fish for them, where the long line in the river, short lines, and tight lining, it is all in play right now.
Have they moved up in them sloughs like they were when me and you and Kevin called them January the 1st, 2020?
Yeah, I don't know if they have Big Daddy or not. Did we lose Joe?
Can you hear me, Joe Allen?
Yeah.
There he goes.
I said, have they moved up in the sloughs like they were when me and you and Kevin called them that time?
Yeah. Yeah, they're starting. Like I said, those fish are going to start, but it's not going to be, wide open in there yet because you still got the river's still going to be in play, and we hadn't got enough high water to make anything else make a move yet.
We might get some water come down here, all that rain they got north of here, though.
Oh, yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, it's time. It's time, but it ain't quite got there yet. I like, once you get I talk about a real high river and muddy, then things go all strictly in the sloughs. But until that happens, all that river's in play right now.
Bait, how hard is bait to get?
You gonna have to get it out there. I would say you could still find some coming to the top popping. And chase them around in the sloughs and cast and get all you want. It hadn't got cold enough to push them shad down a little bit deeper where you need a live scope to find them and throw the cast net to them.
All right, but catfishing is good. All you got to do is come go.
Oh, yeah.
All right, before
it's
we
going to be excellent.
I had these on my show notes. I want to mention because it's this Saturday. The Millis Ferry Volunteer Fire Department is having a quilt raffle. The quilt was made and donated by Brenda Pearson and Deborah Foss. And we're going to give it away Saturday live on my Facebook page at 1 o'clock. Tickets are $5 a piece. We'll be there at 12 o'clock at the Millis Ferry Volunteer Fire Department. So if you want to come buy a ticket between 12 and 1, we will have them on sale. But we will be giving that quilt away live on Facebook Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. But go ahead and get your tickets, $5 per ticket. This is a handmade quilt. And we'll be giving away all the proceeds are going to the Millis Ferry Volunteer Fire Department. All right, let's go to crappie fishing. Shane, Jimmy Hogan on the Tom Bigby. You went this past weekend into Talk about that over there. Everything's changing as we.
Oh yeah, you fix to get a huge change over there in Demopolis and the Warrior and Tom Bigby. Even Jimmy and all them down south are. I went Friday and found some fish, but I've never seen that water that clear. I mean, it was crazy. I was catching stripe. They was running 15 foot trying to eat that jig. I mean, the only bad thing I tell people about the clear water to me, when a fish can use his eyes to feed, I don't like it. I don't want them to use the ladder lines. I want them to use vibration. I don't want them to be able to see my bait as well as they can when the water's clear. So you're getting some dirty water coming. You've got water in those sloughs that's been sitting in there since June. Like we were discussing earlier for the show. Some of that water's been sitting back there since June, and it's getting pushed out. It's going to help everything. And fire everything, fire all those fish up, the shad, the bait, the bass, the crappie, everything's going to get fired up. But
well, and now you talk about the clear water versus the stained muddy water. What is it? The same technique, the same colors?
Oh yeah. Well, what you're going to run into first, Big Daddy, is when this muddy water first comes, it's going to scatter the fish out. They kind of go in a panic because they've been bunched up. I've seen 70, 80 fish on a tree, and you can't catch but 2 or 3, and then it's going to spread them out. But when they bunch back up, it's a little easier to convince them to bite your jig, because, like I said, they don't get a good look at your bait, and you're banging that tree coming through there, or as far as the river, the current's concerned, them fish are going to be getting behind root balls. They're going to get set up better for you to catch them instead of being just, spread out once they set up. The first thing they're going to spread out, then they're going to come back together, and then you're going to be able to, catch them a lot better.
Well, I tell you what, I went Thanksgiving. I didn't catch 30 or 40, but I think I cleaned 13, 15 good, solid fish. Some of them even had signs of eggs in them.
Oh yeah, they're starting to have eggs in them right now. You're gonna get a little strip half size of your pinky in them right now. Your older fish, they start making eggs now, and till everybody used to think, oh, they're spawning, but they're actually growing that egg, this time of year.
But I was fishing on Miller's Ferry on the riverbank, 12 to 20 feet deep with minnows and drop shot. And right. I caught some nice fish. I didn't catch a lot of fish, but the ones I caught were really, really nice.
But like Joe said, even catfish and everything, nothing's set up in a winter pattern right now because we hadn't had any rain. We hadn't had any cold weather, to get them set up as far as wintertime fishing. So they're kind of, I ain't going to say they're behind, but since the water's been clear, it changes the pattern of those fish. It just, they set up different. You didn't know all this before live scope, really, but now you get to see it. When, you got 10 fish just nosing your bait and swimming 10 feet and going right back to the limb, When the water's stained, you'll notice on live scope, when you stick one, there'll be 4 or 5 follow him, and it takes them a minute to go back to that top because they can't see as well. So but now you see one, it'll come up, chase your bait, and run right back down to the limb. You're like, well, he ain't gonna bite. But used to, you get 3 or 4 in the water stain. You can just get away with a lot more in the water stain too.
Chris Blunt and his dad sent me some more pictures. I don't know where they're fishing. They said they fishing 200 yards of riverbank on Miller's Ferry. I want to hunt them down, boy. They had 2 limits 2 days in a row.
I think he said he had 12 pounds. He had a 215 big fish, which was great. And they've been blackfish. Those blackfish are healthy. That one I caught on the main river I didn't weigh it. I didn't have my scale in the boat. It was way over 2 pounds. I let her go, but them things is thick. They're getting, they're feeding and getting fat. So.
And Scott Mitchell and Dip McMillan down there in the Delta, they catching the heck out of it. Look like some pretty good fish to me, Shane.
They've been catching, Dippin has been catching some eater fish, as far as where he fishes. He said they're bunched up on some structure, and I think, they're moved back and forth. I mean, you just got to go, and the pattern changes. The thing about a river, you can talk to all the experts you want. A river's going to humble you because the pattern changes so much all the time. It can change daily, a half a day, about an hour, especially when you got water coming. And, lake fish are pretty much patternable. You find them on a dock, as long as that water stays stable, they're going to be on a dock. But
what about colors, Joe Allen? What colors are you going to use on Miller's Ferry? And Shane, what colors are you going to use in the Mopley? On G.
But it depends. Well, it all depends on what that water does,
That's exactly right.
Those what is that? That monkey's milk has been doing good with a blue head on it. If the watercolor stays the same, but I'm really wanting to go back to that black and chartreuse.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite.
That Reuben Flores.
I got it right here. I got this one right here, black chartreuse. There it is, right there.
Yeah.
And I use
ready
this
for that
John
water.
Deere.
Change colors of that.
I use this John Deere color. It's lemon lime, whatever, and Demopolis a lot. I mean, they'll eat that thing. From about now till February, you can catch that's a little stump bug, a bonehead. Everybody knows I'm affiliated with them. That's a lemon lime John Deere. like you said, black and chartreuse, when that water gets stained, it's hard to keep it away from them down there anywhere.
Noonan Hall wants to know if there's ever been a 3-pound crappie caught on Lake Miller's Ferry. It's been a
Yeah.
I saw a 4-pounder one time.
yeah.
I know several 3-pounders, but I ain't never caught one. Joe Allen ain't never caught one.
I ain't never
Me
caught
neither.
one.
I'm looking forward to this spring because I'm hunting one of them 3-pounders down.
Me too. Well, I was telling you about Dennis Willett up there on the Alabama River out of Swift Creek. Him and Sonny Sipes caught 3-pounders in one day up there,
That's
Shane.
crazy. That's
Mm.
they like I said,
Alabama
they just say they're not everywhere. You don't know how old a fish that is that big, and that's a big old fish.
I've caught a bunch of them I thought was 3 pounds and put them on the scale and one but 2.5 or 2.
Yeah, 2.5 pounds a big old crappie.
You darn right it is.
Unless you're in that fertile Mississippi, 2-pound fish is a big fish.
Hey, old Jason Domain's on here. I heard he was up in Camden the other day peddling them jigs out to Caravelle.
He was. He texted me. He was up there. He sure did.
But what people know about a 3-pound crappie, you got to be prepared for a 3-pound crappie.
Ooh, yeah,
The average guy at Miller's Ferry, 3-pound crappie, he's gonna tear off.
He's gonna have some weight to him, especially a black one. That thing is gonna rip you. Woo.
Hey, Lance said that's the same 4-pounder I saw Lance at the Miller's Ferry Marina back in the 80s. He kept him in the middle of that for a long time.
That's a big old crappie. Lord.
All right, so crappie fishing's wide open. This is my time of the year. I love to get out there on that riverbank. I'm looking forward to this water cooling off, and I've been taking jigs. I said I wasn't going. I mean minnows. I said I wasn't going to do it, but that's all I caught them on was minnows. But
I think I'm like Eric. I used to never carry minnows in my boat, but now I've got them where I got them in the boat, whether I catch fish with them or not. I mean, you don't ever know. One day you're going to be able to, tip them or use minnows only or whatever. So,
hey, Joe Allen Jarrett he said that we're having a jugging contest or not in February.
Yes, I gotta start getting that ready, get the flyers ready, and get with them at CT Wards. They're gonna help out and be in on that, and we got to get started. Yeah, I got to get ready.
Yeah, it's time. It's time. Y'all need to go ahead and get it out there, and then we'll promote it in January. And I mean, it's finna be December tomorrow, guys.
It's coming. Yeah,
I know.
It's coming quick. Like I said.
All right, let's talk about bass fishing. Frank Jordan, he went over the Thanksgiving that morning. It was 28 degrees. You see that big old fish he caught into Moptis, a big, huge bass. I don't know how much it weighed. But, before we get off the crappie, look at him, what Bud says, Joe Allen. Jabbo has caught plenty of crappie in that weight zone, 3.5, 4.5 pounds. Just ask him, and he'll even tell you the details about how to do it. Now, that's your partner, Team Bigfoot partner.
Well, we done said that before, Big Daddy. We told him, bring them here, and I'll mount every one of them.
Yeah, we shut him up, Shane. He was talking about all them
I seen a 438 a guy caught Grenada, a picture and a video of it. That thing, it didn't look real. I mean, it's 18 inches, almost 19 inches long.
Joe Allen told him if he'd bring them to the store, he would have all those 3-pounders mounted and let him hang them in the store for a year, and then he'd give them to him. And He ain't brought one yet. Todd said him and his boys will help with the jugging tournament, Joe Allen.
I'm going to get with Travis. I won't get in on that one.
Yeah. All right, Frank Jordan, we talked about that big bass he caught into Moptis. The Monroe County Bass Anglers had their after Turkey Day Classic at Bridgeport City Landing. Jimmy Cook and Tommy Bridges won it with 16.38. Gunner and Nathan Williams came in second with 13.66. Trey and Leon Wade were third with 13.14. Adam Ryder and Brad Trotter were fourth with 12.42. Big Fish was 3.66. They had 30 boats, so that was a good turnout. I talked to Tommy Bridges the day before the tournament. He told me those bass are on fire out there on Miller's Ferry right now. So if you come in this weekend, what's it going to do, Joe Allen? What we need to do if you bass fishing?
Like I said, there's stuff going to be happening still in the river. It's in play in the sloughs because the water's done cooled off to the temperature, that the fish are, really, really active. You're in that 60-degree range right now. So everything's starting to gorge up for wintertime. And, I guess the best thing to say is pull in the slough and go to looking for bait. There's plenty of bait. There's going to be fish there feeding on all that bait.
They're going to follow the bait. They're going to follow the bait.
I've been seeing some guys land some big bass. I've been driving by. They're fishing the main river, blowdowns, crankbaits, chatterbaits. Mm-hmm. I can tell what they have on as I'm easing by them,
Yeah, that water temperature is right for all the above. Anything you want to do, really.
Well, I looked at my calendar today. I do not have a bass tournament on my calendar in December or January on Miller's Ferry.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them shift over to them deer rifles. They toting a 30-06 right now. But
yeah, they are. They will.
But that, to me, that the wintertime fishing is really better, easier and better.
I think you're right. So once you get them settled in the pattern, it's just easier fishing. You're exactly right.
So, but
or better fishing. I ain't gonna say easier.
Let them go deer hunting. We'll take care of the fish for a little while. I'll go deer hunt after rut hits in January.
There you go.
Hey, go back to crappie fishing. Shane, Jason wants to know if you're gonna fish that Neely Henry tournament.
No, I got a guide trip. I'm gonna fish the next one, Jason.
And we're talking about the Crappie Masters North Division, right?
Right. Yeah, Wesley Cole and them, they're promoting the heck out of that place, as far as that North Division. And I told John Foreman and them, I said, man, he's really doing good. I'm gonna have to go support him.
Hell, he's got a bunch of sponsors.
He does, but I'm not gonna make that December 10th. I'm gonna make that January 14th at Swift Creek, though. That second tournament, I'm gonna be there.
Good. Well, I got to hook you up. You and Dennis Willett got to get out there.
We're going to get out there. We've been talking about it before this even come up, but since Wesley and the Alabama Crappie Masters and all them guys, they don't put a lot of effort in that. And I'm proud of those guys. They stepped up and got some sponsors, and they'll get some boats for that.
All right, good deal. All right, let's talk about small game. All you small game. We had a 2-day duck hunt. It was pretty good. Corey Ingram up there in Dallas County, I don't know where he hunts, but he had a good day. And I saw what Tristan Hargrave sent me. He killed a banded wood duck on that special. Yeah, I think he was hunting a youth hunt. And then the regular season opens up December the 3rd, which will be Saturday till the 1st. Now, I saw a lot of duck hunters on special 2 days, and they were killing a lot of wood ducks, but I didn't see many mallards or anything like that. Joe Allen, what are you hearing about the ducks?
About the same. There's spots that's going to have some. You just got to get out there and hunt them and find them. I had one friend of me tell me that they were sitting in the deer stand, and they had a big pond right there next to them, and said it was full of mallards. And so there's a few big ducks down. You just got to hunt them. It ain't got a bunch of them yet. The colder it gets up north, the more it'll push more on down. But right now, it's still kind of in between on them too. You got some, but not a whole bunch. We're going to have a lot of Uncle Wood ducks and probably a bunch of teal right now. That's going to be.
I've seen about 10 boats Friday. I think it opened Friday when I went fishing.
That youth.
Man, there was a whole bunch of them at Lot 5. There was probably 10 or 12 boats there.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday.
Yes, sir. I think that's right.
All right, Joe Allen. Now, you told me the other day when I talked to you, when you was working so hard, that you and Sarah were going squirrel hunting. Did that ever happen?
Oh yeah, we got to go, and that morning, and the wind blew a little bit. The squirrels never really got down on the ground, but now you saying this past rain and the wind blew more leaves off, so it's getting right now.
Yeah,
so definitely gonna be the time. I got to get out there, and we got to get us another mess. Me and Sarah's gonna work on that.
Yeah. Well, I wish you'd take your GoPro when you do, because I think I could make some money off a squirrel hunt with Sarah if I could get it on video.
We'll get it on video.
All right, let's talk about the deer for a minute. The big buck contest had the big doe contest the other day. Michael made the announcement at the Pineapple Hunters Appreciation Day. Michael Sawyer won the big doe contest with a 113-pound nanny, and second place was Breanne Carney. She had one that weighed 111 pounds, and Marcy Daly had hers was 111 pounds. So two 111 pounders and one 113 at the Pineapple Hunters Appreciation Day. 6-year-old Madison Gibbons won the $500 big buck contest. She's from Bay Minette, and that was the first deer she ever killed. So she will never forget that hunt. The juvenile winner was Caden Cavan, and the female winners were Destiny Davison and Marcy Daly. So Marcy had a pretty good weekend. She got her some money this weekend. I had a hog contest, but I didn't get the winners of it. But I'm gonna tell y'all something, and we talked about it the first of today's show. You better get ready, because those deer, I'm telling you, they are fixing to be chasing. I really believe it's gonna be an early rut this year.
Well, I hope so. Maybe that rut will kick on in.
Shane, you're going to be at Bob Sykes Barbecue this Saturday in Bessemer, Alabama. They got a big customer appreciation. What all's going to be going on? Invite everybody to come up there and see.
I know he's going to have a book. I get in there talking to him about food. I can stay in there all day. I got to watch it, but he's got a cookbook and talks about his business. And I think he's been in business for 65 years. He told me the other day. And he had his biggest day this past Wednesday that he's ever had since they've been in. But they're going to be talking barbecue. He does little seminars like that. Again, I'm going to be out there talking fishing, and I'll be eating some barbecue. But it's supposed to rain maybe that morning. But I mean, if you're in town or want to drive up and eat some barbecue and come shoot the breeze with me, I'll be there.
Joe Allen?
Shane, does he have does he have a pit, or how does he cook?
Yes, he's got a pit. He got a big hickory pit right there.
That's the best kind in the world right there.
Oh yeah, he's got a guy that sits in there and that cooks there all day long.
Wonder how many butts been cooked on that pit in that long as he's been there, Shane.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not sure how long that store's been there, but it's been there my whole life, of course. I'm 47, so it's he's just a good fella, man. He'll sit in there and people come in, and you'll see some of them from out of town or out of the country, and he'll sit up there and show them, his how he does his barbecue and how he does his brisket. And
yeah,
he's like, Joe, you just want to watch him cook,
Joe Allen Jarrett said he going coon hunting this weekend. You and Todd need some coons.
Well, we'll take them. I mean, all I got is one right now.
Mm-hmm.
Aiden decided he was going to try trapping, so he trapped him one. So we cleaned it because we got one. We figure we need probably a total about 6 would be enough.
Good Lord.
Yeah, because most people they say that, well, I ain't gonna eat no coon. I never eaten a coon, but after they smell it cooking and get around it, they're gonna say, well, I think I'll try a piece of it, And after they eat it, it's good.
Yeah, if you know how to cook it. All right, Joe Allen, I saw a post you put up on Facebook today. How long you gonna have those kids' clothes at Dunn Sports?
We got a good stock of them right now. Actually, we got a good stock of everything. I'm gonna pan the thing around and just look, but we got a good stock of kids' clothes, adult clothes, all the mossy oak patterns, and most of everything's in Bottomland. We got some of the Drake casual wear pants, and when you come down through here, we got gloves, head nets, scents, cameras, Costa sunglasses, and as far as guns, we got just a little bit of everything, right now, and we still got a good stock of ammo.
You still got a lot of boots too, don't you, Joe?
Oh yeah, we got a. Bubba asked me today a whole truckload of lacrosse come in, and a bunch of waders in there. So we got a bunch of waders in for the duck hunters this weekend. So, and Bubba said, well, we ain't selling none yet. I said, you wait till Saturday. They going to find the holes in all them old waders.
I've done that. Hey, I got out there and I was sitting there and I felt my crotch getting a little cold. I was like, hang on now. Next thing you know, you coming out of that water.
Yeah, because they'll find the holes in
got a lead sled. What is a lead sled?
That's for sighting in rifles.
And you got one Caldwell lead sled?
Oh yeah. That's what I've been using for a long time. That's the only thing that'll take some of the kick out of the guns while you sighting them in.
Mm-hmm. All right, boys. Well, we done it. That was a good show, man. Shane, thank you for coming, man.
Yeah, thank y'all. Like I said, anybody has any questions, y'all can message me. I'll talk about crappie fishing until I go to bed, but y'all can message me or anything, and I can help anybody because I'm trying to share all this stuff too. So,
and next week maybe Kevin will be back. Maybe he'll bring us a souvenir back from Las Vegas, Joe Allen.
I hope so. I hope he goes in one of them casinos there and wins $100 million and comes back and gives it
nice.
Yeah. Well, I hope Brody has a good ride at that rodeo. And he said he's going to send me some pictures, and you can watch it on the Cowboy Channel. If anybody gets the Cowboy Channel.
I may have it on this thing I got. I got so many channels, I don't even know what's going on. I might look it up.
Well, we thank everybody for tuning in. We'll be back next week. And Michael, we talked about them catfish. They biting down here on the river. We're getting a little water down here too, but you ain't got to ask us about catfish. You know how to catch them catfish. Michael Hilliard, he's one of the top catfishermen in the world. Dennis Parker, how you doing, my friend? All right, that's all we got, y'all. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Stan.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Stand by. Big Daddy. And we'll see y'all next week.
Pap taught me every critter's track and how to set a hair trigger on a trap. He taught me to shoot, scale, and skin and make a snare with a leather strap. He taught me to be a part of the woods and all his woodsy tricks. Said you gotta walk soft on 2 light feet and try not to break no sticks. I thank Daddy for my savvy, how to hunt and how to carry anything that I might need to get a piece of skillet meat. How to walk and how to hide, how to crawl and how to slide, how to sneak, stalk, and climb and do it all on 2 light feet.